So picture this, it's 1986 on a Saturday morning, San Jose, California at East Ridge Mall, inside the little Toys R Us kiosk that they have in there. A cacophony of video games, and based on the graphics alone, I look at this game and I knew I had to have it. I pulled the last slip, which read $49.99. I took it to the counter and I paid for it. It was the first game that I ever paid on my own with my money, with my allowance money, collecting cans and recycling them. And of course, the game in question is the legendary Metroid. I remember that same day when I bought it, I actually signed up for my first issue of Nintendo Power, which was incredibly important because Metroid was unlike any other game we played either at home or in the arcade. It wasn't linear, it was basically the one that spawned the genre of games called Metroidvanias, and it was not hard to figure out that this was something completely different. And of course, the Nintendo Power issues had maps. I would talk to friends, get guides, get advice. I mean, this was something that was a big deal on the playground in 1986. And of course, one of the most important aspects of this game are the characters. Definitely Samus Aran. And of course, once you beat the game, the big reveal is that it turns out, unlike Arnita Sarkeesian would suggest, it revealed a strong female protagonist, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So naturally, any swag that can be acquired from this legendary franchise is going to get a lot of love on this show. So today we're going to be reviewing First 4 Figures version of Samus Aran, the Gravity Suit version, the 10-inch statue. Let's take a closer look. Clearly, based on my enthusiasm leading up to the intro, you can see how much I love this franchise, which is why it's so disappointing that this figure actually broke my heart, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but let's talk about the good things. Now, the head sculpt is absolutely brilliant. This is Samus's iconic helmet, which is very spectacular, and I absolutely love the color palettes here. Just so many things that are working in tangent. I love the little ball, kind of like shoulders. They're done in this purple kind of metallic finish, which is really nice, and of course the iconic helmet, which looks really great. I have to say, and I'll mention this again, the color palettes really stand out here. The Gravity Suit is one of my favorite suits that Samus dons and one of the greatest power-ups I think that she can have, which is really cool. Overall, the top section of this figure is amazing. Now, the top section of this figure is not only bulky, which is really awesome, but also vibrant. The midsection is a little bit more slender, but a lot more vivid. Definitely in the yellow, especially with the panel lines offset against that metallic purple. Now, one of the things that I think is really cool is the accents, those little joints in between the suit armor, or the armor that's modularized here, that connects all those kind of like armor sets in between. It looks like dark tubing, which is really awesome, and I think it gives it a nice focal point offset against the metallic purple, the yellow, the red. It just looks really fantastic, and it really comes into play when we light this up. Now, it doesn't matter what suit you're wearing, the arm cannon is always just freaking cool, and I love this high metallic green accented with the orange kind of like striations. They did an excellent job in terms of the wash, and especially in the shading. Just look at how beautiful that is. This is really a focal point. It really stands out against the rest of the cacophony of colors that we see here. It's just absolutely stunning. And of course, I have to mention that when you light this bad boy up, it just looks super cool. Now, the reverse section, you don't really have to mirror it, but there is a lot of detail on the reverse side, especially when it comes to the helmet. Now, because it lights up, you are gonna wanna mirror this one, just because, it's a whole light up effect. It's 3 dimensions, I guess, or 360 light up functionality here. Again, you get a greater appreciation of the colors here, the purples, the reds, the yellows, and then of course a greater appreciation of just the details in the panel lines. Those 2 boosters on the back do light up, which is really fantastic. No fan service to speak of here because she's all armored up, and you get a greater appreciation of the way that she attaches to the base, slightly lifting off it, but this is one of the problems that this has, and I will talk about that in a moment. But definitely mirror this piece, or if you don't, not the end of the world. Now, it does come on this base very similar to the Varia suit, which I'll be doing a review on. The only difference is that it's a different color, because this is, of course, is the Gravity Suit. It has the screw attack symbol in that high polish gunmetal finish. Of course, in the middle it's this kind of like silver, and then around the base, or in the center I should say, it's that metallic purple again. It's nice that it distinguishes it between the Varia and Gravity Suit respectively. Now, here it is all lit up, which looks fantastic, and again, the video is not doing it justice. This is absolutely beautiful. And of course, you have the lines on the balls, and then you do see that image of her face inside the visor, which is really fantastic. Very similar to what we see in the Varia suit. Again, I do have to review that. A lot of light up functionality here. I especially like the little chest. They kind of look like Honda lights, which is really fantastic. But the standout here, as I mentioned, is definitely in her blaster. Just take a look at how much that is illuminated, and it looks really fantastic, especially offset against some of the kind of like shadowing and effects that it has, which is really fantastic. Of course, the lower section does light up as well. But here's the problem, guys. This suit is plagued with so many quality control issues. A lot of QC stuff going on here. You see he's slightly raised, or she's slightly raised there. I can't connect this fully because look at what's going to happen the minute that I actually put it flush with the actual statue. Once I lower this thing, I don't know if there's something wrong with the circuitry or it's just connecting. It's gonna immediately turn off, which really sucks. Okay, look at this. This is what happens when I connect it. Bam, the lights go off, right? And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just, you know, cutting out or shorting out or a defect with this piece, but the minute that I pop it up, it lights up again. It is the most frustrating thing. Two other things. The cannon actually popped off, and that lower leg down there, it actually popped off as well. So I don't know if it's just my piece or if it's just, you know, a problem that is happening with all these statues. Let me know in the comment section. But this is the thing that really kicked my ass about this figure. It would be legendary, but there's so many quality control problems with at least my piece. To be fair, it could just be an anomaly, but I don't think so. A buddy of mine overseas actually ordered this figure and got it, I think, about 3 weeks earlier than I did, and he told me that the arm cannon just blatantly popped off. So this could be an overall QC problem with this particular production, which really sucks, guys. Otherwise, I would be giving it a much higher rating, but unfortunately in this state, I can't really do that. Now, I'm not gonna bring myself to return it just because whatever, it's defective, but you know, this is still my piece, so I'm not gonna send it back. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on First 4 Figures version of Samus, the Gravity Suit version, the 10-inch statue. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Route Desert Reviews.